Do you love art and do you love fashion? Then let's review Filippo Sorcinelli's fragrance. So I already did a review, well, it was a first impression of this fragrance itself. I got to unbox it with you. I usually don't ever do this sort of thing, but I thought to myself, hey, let's go ahead and review it because it's such a different, unique experience when it comes to the fragrance itself. I have never heard of this brand before. I ran across it on Nose, which is a, I don't know, would you call it a perfume shop? It's out of France, but you can still order here in the United States. Well, you can currently. But I saw this brand on Nose and I just said, wow, what is that? How do you use it? Where does it spray from? I thought all of those things, and I actually reached out to this brand, and I'm very humbled, first and foremost. I'm very, very happy that they were able to send out this fragrance. Not many brands do that, and obviously with a small channel, with a small budget like myself, it can be a little bit limiting to try new fragrances, especially because you don't know if people are going to watch the video. Sorry, I had to interrupt the video because little Boris is just... Do you want to say hi to the camera, little Boris? Isn't he just the cutest little thing ever? All right, go and play. As I was saying, this brand was kind enough to send this fragrance over, and I'm very humbled and very happy that they were able to do such a kind gesture, such as sending this fragrance over. So I wanted to show you the packaging first and foremost before we get into the review, just because it's very different. It's a very unique experience. This brand itself is just, they start off with the concept of art and inspiration, and then they build on that with the actual fragrance smell. So the brand is named after Filippo Sorcinelli, which is a very interesting person. I was reading online and I was like, what? So he's an artist first and foremost, but he's kind of into this like dark and vampy, like Stage Fright by Hitchcock or Edgar Allan Poe type of thing. But he's also, believe it or not, the tailor to the Pope. So it's kind of like a draw of inspiration from a bunch of different things. He takes inspiration from very traditional Catholic traditions and brings them into this like artsy type of movement, smashes them together, creates these fragrances that are based on his inspirations, obviously, and they end up being art exhibit pieces, in my opinion. The fragrance that we have here today, I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it, but it's supposed to translate into day and night, sort of. I think that's what Google Translate was saying to me in ChatGPT. But the box is right here. I wanted to show you this first and foremost because this is not how it comes in. It's a very interesting box because look at the side. It's kind of designed for it to not break, obviously, for it to go into transit. But when you get it, it's wrapped in like this plastic cellophane substance of some sort, which in itself is unique because obviously at this price point, you're expecting something to be very snooty, very snobby, and this one is just artistic and a little grunge at the same time. Then you open it up, and inside you get a card that essentially is talking to you about the inspiration of the fragrance itself. And then you get your fragrance in here with a pouch. So I don't know where the pouch to this is. It is a black velvet pouch this fragrance comes in. Like I said, if you got to watch my short video with this actual fragrance, unboxing it, you have to essentially cut the fragrance, and I'll show you what I mean. This is a fragrance itself, and I know, very different, very unique. It is, I don't know if it's nylon, linoleum, I think that's how you say it, or leather. It's kind of a hybrid of everything, but it's very unique in itself. So just so you see on the side here, it is a bottle inside, and then this is like melted onto it, if that makes any sense. But when you get it, it comes with this. So this is a pair of scissors. It has a logo of the brand here. I haven't taken it off here, and the name of the fragrance there. Take this little protective layer off, and then it is go into Chop City, and you have to essentially chop it in the middle so that you can open up your fragrance and try it and smell it. Very unique concept. I've not seen any other brand do that before, which kind of gives you a little bit of anxiety because you don't want to ruin your fragrance either, especially at this price point. So yeah, it's one of those things where it is an experience in itself. It's very unique and it's also very artistic. The bottle, again, it's not going to be very travel friendly. So just so you can see, to open it, you pull both of these, there you go, and voila. It has both of the separate pieces here. And just so you see here, that is the top. It is a wooden block and it is pressurized in. The bottle is glass like the rest of his collection, but it just has this plasticky type of thing over it. Now, I know that there were a couple of comments out there saying that the brand was focusing a little bit too much on the packaging and maybe not enough on the juice. And I have to say that that is not true by any extent of the imagination. First and foremost, the entire collection is extrait de parfum, and I have to say it's not just marketing here. It is literally longevity house down boots. Great quality ingredients, great longevity, great performance, great projection. The fragrance just wears all around great. And that's saying a lot, especially because it is an indie house, it is smaller, so being able to get such high quality ingredients is going to be a little bit harder for a brand like this. But Filippo Sorcinelli has been able to do that, and this fragrance is great when it comes to all of those things. This fragrance was launched in 2023, and the notes for this are going to be musk, sandalwood, tonka bean, and amber up top, and then for heart notes we're going to get marine notes, iris, jasmine, rose, lemon, lily of the valley, bergamot, citron, cardamom, and cardamom at the base. And I have to say that this fragrance is just very Italian. It is going to be very fresh, very aquatic at the same time, but it's not doing it in a bad way, because I usually have this, I don't know if it's like allergic reaction or what you want to call it, to marine notes. Marine notes typically give me a headache. They tend to be very lab made, they tend to be very synthetic. In the case of this one, you do get that marine quality, but it's not, I just don't know how to explain it. It's not fishy, if that makes any sense. It's just pleasant. The pleasant parts of the marine smell, if that makes any sense. It does start off, like I said in my first impression, with this cumin smell. Now, cumin is not listed as a note in this fragrance, but it does come through. It's a little dry, it's a little dirty in the beginning, and then it starts to kind of fade away and play with the other notes such as the cardamom and the amber and musk in this fragrance. I'm trying to see if there's anything that would give you that vibe, like an animalic type of smell. Now, I know cumin is not animalic, but to me it kind of gives animalic vibes, and in this one itself, you're not getting that. If you don't know what animalic is, by the way, it's kind of like dirty animal smell. That's the best way I can describe it. It's not very pleasant in itself, but mixed with other elements in fragrance, it does come as a beautiful, it can go off very well, if that's what I'm trying to say. Now, when it comes to the elements of florals, there is a floral aspect to this fragrance, but do not think that it's going to be the star of the show here. That rose, that jasmine, and that iris do blend into the fragrance, but do note that they are background notes. They are there to kind of add contrast to this fragrance, to kind of soften things up around the edges. And I will say that the main star of the show with this fragrance is probably going to be the cardamom, the lemon, and the citron, as well as the sandalwood and musk. This fragrance starts off, like I said, very sharp, a little animalic, right, zesty, citrusy, and then it goes into the more woody, ambery elements of the fragrance itself, cleaned off very nicely with the floral aspect. Overall, giving you a very well done fragrance. It does fall more onto the masculine side of things, so if you're looking for a super unisex fragrance, this may not be the one for you. It is technically, at least on that website, marketed as a unisex fragrance, but I do think that this one falls more in the masculine side of things. So it's not terrible when it comes to price, especially when you are considering that it is an extrait de parfum. You're considering that you're getting 100 mils as well, considering that they actually took time to give you a story to your fragrance and not just sell you something that is not just in a simplistic bottle that they got a really good deal on. They slapped a label on it and said, here you go, pay us $500. No, they actually took the time to make something that is very unique, very different, very sexy, but there's this slight darkness to this fragrance. There's a slight mysteriousness to this fragrance as well. Although it has that very light, aquatic zestiness that's bright and happy, it does have those dark, mysterious elements as well, giving you that very I don't know, it's very Italian. That's the best way I can describe it. Italian people are like this. They're very bright, they're very happy, they're very inviting and warm, but there's always this slight mystery to Italian people, in my opinion, and that is what this fragrance is representing. Overall, I do have to say, I'm not being biased here. I'm not trying to say, you know, go out there and buy it, but I do think that this fragrance is worth checking out. It is a very nice smelling fragrance. If you're looking for a gift for someone that appreciates art, for someone that appreciates good fragrance and good storytelling, then this is going to be the fragrance to check out because it's just great quality, it's great storytelling, and it's straight up art. So don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, comment down below if there's any Filippo Sorcinelli fragrance that you have tried, what brands you are interested in me trying on this channel. I know it's very different from what we usually do on this channel. It's typically the high-end fashion designer. In this case, it's a very niche artistic brand, and I think that's fun to add some of that in there as well. So let me know if there's any other brands that you would like me to try. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, take care. Bye.